My gorgeous heiress wife and I were reborn together. Now I'm desperately trying to stay away from her. After learning her first love had died, my wife, who hadn't let me touch her in our 10 years of marriage, walked into my room for the first time wearing lingerie. She said, "Tonight I'm yours. Just don't break me." In the heat of the moment, she quietly whispered, "Let's not meet in the next life." The next morning, my wife leaped from the rooftop, ending her life. Only then did I understand she'd never truly gotten over Leo Vance. Reborn in my youth, she decisively shook my hand off and strode toward her first love. I watched them walk away, then turned and left myself. From that day forward, our lives were nothing more than two parallel lines, never to cross again. 10 years later, we met again at a New York City gala. She had become a rising star among the elite, appearing on Leo Vance's arm, looking utterly smitten. When she saw me barge into the gala, looking for someone, she couldn't resist lecturing me. "Why must you be so obsessed with me? Even if you waited 10 years, I would never fall in love with you." I ignored her and pulled my son, who was sneaking cake, out from a corner. Her eyes suddenly widened, and she gripped my hand tightly. "Are you doing this just to spite me? Didn't you say you would only love me for the rest of your life?" I never imagined that in this new life I would ever cross paths with Chloe Dubosi again. At the high society gala in New York, she stood in the crowd with Leo Vance on her arm, her smile elegant and refined, showing no trace of the girl she once was. The people gathered around them were all smiles, their tones fawning. Miss Dubosi is truly a woman who holds her own against any man. To land such a significant project at a young age, her future is boundless, and this must be your partner. You two make such a stunning couple, the envy of everyone here. Leo Vance glanced at Chloe with deep affection and said gently, "We're planning to get married at the end of the year. If you're free, you're all welcome to come to the wedding." Another round of congratulations erupted until someone asked, "I heard you two have been together for 10 years. Why wait until now to get married?" I was a little curious about that myself. In my past life, Chloe loved Leo so much she was willing to follow him in death. After being reborn, she broke up with me almost instantly. I had assumed they would get married right after college, but I guess they still hadn't made it official. Hearing this, a barely perceptible stiffness crossed Chloe's face before she covered it with a smile. Career first, family later. I wanted to give Leo the best life possible. She looked at Leo, the adoration in her eyes practically overflowing. In my past life, when we were together, I proposed to her several times. It wasn't until her family put pressure on her that Chloe reluctantly agreed to marry me. It turns out the difference between loving someone and not is painfully obvious. I was about to turn and leave when I caught a glimpse of a small figure out of the corner of my eye, and my body moved before I could think. Crash. Champagne spilled everywhere. The waiter holding the tray glared at me, his face a mask of annoyance. "Where did you come from? Watch where you're going." His voice was loud enough to draw everyone's attention. When she saw my face, Chloe was stunned. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" I lowered my head and apologized to the waiter. "I'm here looking for someone." "Someone curious?" asked Chloe. "Miss Dubosi, you know him?" Chloe's hand holding a wine glass tightened. Her expression grew serious. "Yes, an ex-boyfriend." Someone nearby blurted out, "You two were together for 10 years. I thought you were each other's first loves." The smile on Leo's face faded slightly. He squeezed Chloe's hand and said dismissively, "We were young. We had a fight and broke up for a bit. Everyone makes mistakes when they're young, right?" Chloe didn't say anything. Her gaze flickered past me to the waiter. "Put the damages on my tab."